the market for offshore hiring is quite unstructured. What do I mean by that? Like if you're sitting for a government exam, or if you are sitting for even private law firm, Indian law firms, okay, you can expect that chalo in Indian law firms at least there'll be 1,000 to 1,500 positions. If I aggregate all the law firm jobs all over the country, there may be about 1,000 to 1,500 jobs. I'm taking a rough ballpark calculation that will offer 30,000, 40,000 and above. Okay, that is what I'll calculate. Now, however, if I look at foreign law firm jobs, those many jobs won't be there. Like in the UK market, for example, there is a India pool and there's a global pool. Okay, how the global pool works is that everybody, irrespective of where you are at, okay, India, abroad, UK, you will all be applying together. So an Indian law student in fourth year applying for a vacation scheme is placed similarly to an Australian law student or a European law student or an English law student. Okay. So everybody is put on par and the seats are very few. So it becomes problematic. So you don't have a lot of seats, probably like 20 people across India get jobs, or 15 people across India get jobs, and all the foreign law firms combined. Okay. The numbers are very, very small. How do people go abroad and work? So vacation scheme was one I already explained, right? If you want to work in the UK, then vacation scheme is the most popular option. You have to look at how to transition the vacation scheme into a training contract. Okay, this training contract is like a PPO. Only thing is that it's called a training contract. You're not an associate. The training contract lasts for 2 years. After the 2 years, you have to give an exam and you have to be confirmed by the firm you're working at to be an associate. There are instances of people whose training contracts have not been confirmed by firms. Okay, so then they've had to return to India. Okay, and if you come to India, technically the training contract is a training experience, not a work experience. Okay, but Indian law firms often give you comparable salaries as they would to a PQE2 or a PQE1 associate. Okay, that has been the normal year. Okay, the other way to do this is to do an LLM. Now, an LLM can help you from US, because you can have an opportunity to compete for positions in the US, or to compete for positions in the Singapore offices or the Hong Kong office of a US law firm. One other way that is done is Indian lawyers may pursue a UK LLM, but in UK, the campus hiring for LLMs is not very well defined. Okay, so every UK LLM, every UK university does not have a placement, like does not have like recruitment happening on campus. So the universities will have a placement cell. Okay, but what's going to happen is that the firm will make a presentation and then they'll ask you to individually apply. So they'll not come specifically to your office to recruit, to your college to recruit. Okay, they'll ask you to individually apply and you will apply like that. Okay, so this is for you to work in the UK. Now, other ways to work. Okay, everything apart from the vacation scheme route or the LLM route, what are the other routes? Working abroad through a secondment is a very lucrative idea. Okay, how do you get a foreign secondment? This would be so you don't have structured pathways for it. If you're working with an Indian law firm, you may get an opportunity. If it has the best friends relationships with a foreign law firm, you may get an opportunity to go abroad either for a training, for let's say a 3-week training, or you may be seconded for 6 months to an international office of the firm they have a best friends relationship with, right? And many Indian law firms have best like 3-4 Indian law firms have best friends relationships with foreign firms. Now there's one more opportunity. There are several Indian law firms which have offshore offices, like NDA, Nishit Desai and Associates has an offshore office. So you have opportunities to also work in the offshore office of an Indian law firm if the Indian law firm expands its presence abroad. Why is this increasing? Because Indian companies are going abroad to international markets, and where they will need the help of they are happy to trust an Indian law firm which has lawyers in foreign jurisdictions which are qualified in that foreign law to give them advice. Indian best friends relationships, like Pranav is giving an example that Talwar Thakur has it with Linklater. So you can look at this, that whether the Indian firm has a best friends relationship with a UK firm where you could work at. What else is there? Then some firms like Clifford Chance has a business services office in India. It's called Clifford Chance Business Services Private Limited. Now, they're not doing full blown legal work from India. They're not advising clients in India. They cannot do so. They are prohibited from working in India like that. So, however, they can hire Indian lawyers for back end work, which to do that for the UK office. Okay. And that is one of the ways in which you can do offshore work. And there may be programs or, engagements which you can have with foreign offices of the firm.